Yo, this is Christian, and I have some crazy news. My laptop, may it rest in peace. So, I was working on my project for one of my classes pretty late last night, and I actually went to bed a little bit early, woke up early, finished it up this morning, and as I was committing it, my computer froze completely. I was terrified. I thought I was gonna lose everything that I had worked on. It's not super difficult. It would take me a few hours to do it over again, but I just I just didn't want to work on it anymore. I didn't want to have to redo that. You never want to redo something that you already completed. Um, it's like starting a puzzle from scratch. Some people like that, but not me. Um, so it froze, and luckily, it was able to commit it. I checked on. I have a different computer I can use here, but I still have a lot of stuff on here that um, I have not committed to GitHub. I've not really been good about it. I struggled quite a bit. I know it's not super difficult, but I didn't really take the time, a significant portion of time to figure it out. Eclipse luckily made it really easy to commit to GitHub, so I've been doing that, but still haven't been really good about it. I So the first commit I had was essentially just a bunch of getters and setters and some print statements to get user input, and then I worked on it and finished the rest of it without committing anything else. So the last commit I did was all I had left. Was like pretty much the entire project. And I thought I was gonna lose it, but we're good. We're alive. Definitely learned a variable a variable a very valuable lesson there. Never forget, never give up. Luckily, my laptop was already having some problems, so I've ordered one and it's coming in on Wednesday. I'm pretty excited about that. It's I got a MacBook Pro. I know there's MacBook people, there's not MacBook people. Um, I have an Apple phone, so it's just kind of more convenient to be within the same network of things, especially when programming. One of my friends recommended that I stick to the Mac OS. That a lot of the tutorials online, people use the Macs, and he said most programmers, not most, but I guess the most that he works with, work with Linux and Mac OS. So I went with that. I'm pretty excited about that. It's my first laptop in 5 years. Can you believe that? This laptop I got in 2014, I think. So about a little more than 5 years. Was it 20, no, 2015, 2015, sorry. So about 5 years old. That's crazy. I can't believe this laptop. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't doing like the craziest projects on this thing, but um, it still lasted me 5 years. I mean, I would sometimes leave it on. I mistreated this laptop so bad. I would sometimes leave it on for days. This was back in my North Dakota days. I would I would be watching a movie, and then I would just, the movie would end, or if it was on Netflix, it would just keep going and going and going, and I would just leave it on. I would leave it plugged into the charger, and I never had problems with it. Never had anything. I mean, it was really good at streaming movies. I'll give you that. Some laptops can't do that, but um, this one was definitely a trooper. So something I've been noticing a lot lately is, this past weekend I kind of fell off and I lost, a lot of valuable time I could have used to move forward in my schoolwork or my projects or just in anything. But I kind of got really sidetracked, distracted. And this week has been, I spent most of the week kind of, not kind of, I spent most of this week catching up. I spent most of this week gaining my momentum back, and it just feels like a huge difference. It feels like every step I take backwards is like actually 10 steps, and then I have to take one step forward. Yeah, I only take one step forward at a time, so it takes a lot longer to come back. But luckily, the past couple of days I've been working pretty hard, and I'm getting my momentum back slowly but surely. I mean, you guys saw I attempted that Medium program. Definitely did not do well. Not impressed, but I mean, we're gonna keep getting better. You guys remember those easy problems? They were tough, but I'm gonna keep developing. I'm gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep instead of like I've been enjoying kind of reviewing code. In my last video, I showed you guys that. So I sat down and I've been reviewing what people came up with. It's kind of nice. Um, this kind of concept of momentum reminds me of back in my high school days when I was taking AP Cal class. My AP Cal class was every single morning. So I'd walk into the school, go straight to the cafeteria, get breakfast, and then go straight up to my class to work on the homework that was assigned last night. You know, to collaborate. Um, sometimes I wouldn't finish, but I would do my best to do it that morning. I should have done it the night before, but you know, it doesn't work out like that sometimes. But having that class every day was a pain, but it definitely prepared me for the AP test. That's actually the only AP test I passed in high school. I took 3 different ones, I think, and then I passed the Cal 1 and 2 one. And I remember in class, it was like a couple weeks before the AP test, the teacher was giving us like pretty much just a massive review of calculus 1 and 2. And she was asking people questions, and I knew people in the class, but I didn't really like to talk a lot because I didn't like bringing attention towards myself. And she picked an easy question to ask me. She's like, "All right, Christian, can you tell me what a derivative is?" And I could feel the whole classroom looking at me. I was kind of shaking a little bit. I was nervous, and I choked. I just said, I don't know." And in reality, I kind of didn't know. Like I could do a really long explanation of what a derivative is, but the next person to answer gave like a 2-word answer, and I just felt really dumb. It was kind of embarrassing. I felt like when I said I don't know, everyone in the class kind of judged me a little bit. They're like, "Man, this guy's not gonna pass his test." And come day of the exam, come the day of the exam, I remember walking into. It was at the university that's in my city. I was walking into the Union area to take my exam, and I'm standing in the lobby with all my friends. We're just chatting, kind of talking about like some people were reviewing. I was kind of like, dude, honestly, like what I know now is all I'm gonna get out of it. So I was chatting with my friends, and we walk into we walk. They finally opened the doors to go into the test center. And I sit down. I'm looking around. They have us like pretty spread out. They gave us a pretty decent sized table for ourselves, like twice the size of a normal desk. And I realized that I didn't have my calculator. I looked around. Every single person had their calculator, pencils. I think they provided the scratch paper, and I forgot my calculator. And the thing about universities is you can't just like there's not parking everywhere. Especially the university I was at, they were trying to make it a closed campus, meaning you couldn't park on campus. So, I mean, there's very limited parking on campus, which was reserved for students and employees. And they gave us, the test takers, parking that was like, I don't know, like a 15-minute walk. It was pretty far. So I had a decision to make. It was either I take the entire AP test without a calculator, or I run back to my car and try to get back on time. They ended up, luckily, um, they opened the doors about 30 minutes before the exam, so I was like, I can do this. So I run to my car, and like my previous story, I was in very, very bad running shape. So I would like do a little sprint, do a little walk, do a little sprint, do a little walk, and then finally get to my car, boom, grab my calculator, do the same thing, more walking, and then sprinting this time because I'm pretty tired. And I'm about, I don't know, maybe like 2 minutes away from the test center, and I didn't want to walk in all sweaty, so I started slowing down, but I was like, I don't want to be late. So essentially I walked in and everybody looked at me and my face was red. I was sweating. I looked ridiculous. I had to ask one of the test proctors, is that what they're called? It's like, hey, can I go like wash my face or something? Like, um, I don't really want to be all sweaty and start being sticky. So they let me. And I came back and just like a million things were running through my mind. all I could think about was, man, legitimately all these people from all these different schools just saw me walking all sweaty, kind of late. I looked ridiculous. Um, and that's all I could think about. I was like, man, I can't believe I forgot my calculator. I was sitting there judging myself. And then I was like, there's no way I'm going to pass this exam. There's 0% chance. After that question was asked to me in class about derivatives, I felt like I didn't know anything. So I just started taking an exam, started doing my best. And, at first I'm feeling a little resistance, a little overwhelmed. But as I read through the questions, I realized that the teacher had done a really good job of preparing us. A lot of the questions we got asked were things we went over in class the day before, or the week before, sorry. The week before. And a lot of the ways the teacher structured the homework was similar to this exam. So I was like, that's what I've been doing every day for the entire school year, except Saturday and Sunday. So I just went through it, boom, 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 boom. And I finished it, and I was like, I can't believe I finished that exam. I was like, I didn't think it was possible. I didn't feel like I knew anything. And I went back outside, started talking with my friends about the exam. They started discussing some of the questions, which I know you're not supposed to do, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Well, I think you could discuss it among people who were taking the exam with you. So we were discussing it, and a lot of the things they were saying, I was like, I didn't get that answer. I was like, maybe I'm not going to pass. And they sent the results, and turns out everyone in my class got fives, which was insane. Well, except me. I got fours. I was a little bit of slacker. I got fours, but in all honesty, everyone in my class thought I was going to fail, and I thought I was going to fail too. Like, I was not confident at all. And it just goes to show what daily practice of any task can do. It's very powerful. Even if you feel like you're not doing, it's not really sinking in, you're always struggling, it's still there. It's still fundamentals there. And that's what happened to me in my Cal 1 and 2 exam. Even to this day, I bet you if I saw some Cal 1 stuff, I wouldn't necessarily remember it, but as I start reviewing it, it would start coming back super quickly. And that's just the power of showing up every single day. That was one of my most powerful examples, because we had a block schedule, so I never really had a class every day. But having that every day and having homework every day, even though I did it before class, it was still that daily practice, that daily touch up. And that's something I'm coming to realize is, like, the past couple days I've been working on programming continuously, and it's been getting a lot easier. It's been getting a lot simpler versus like when I take 3 days off and I come back and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. There's so much code. I'm so overwhelmed. So much new stuff I gotta do. You can't even organize your thoughts or your tasks because you're just stressing. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Hopefully I can retrieve this Django project. If not, I'm not too far along, so I'm not too stressed. I'll just restart. Restarting won't be too big of a deal. It's been a while since I worked on it, so it's probably a good thing. So I can restart and be fresh in my mind. And then I'm going to touch up on it daily, so that way you guys can see some cool stuff. All right, well, that's all I got for today. Catch you guys later.